Curtis is his name. Curtis Mayfield had his finger on the pulse of society. Even when we as a people did not know where we were going, Curtis musically led the way. One of my favorite parts in one of his songs said, "People must prove to the people a better day is coming for you and for me." Oh yeah, yeah. All right, all right, all right. And then he said, if you had a choice of colors.
Hello again. This is Coach Tina Lane on the Carter 101 show. Listen, have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you were to pursue your dreams, your goals, your visions? Actually pursue your passion. Well, today I have a special guest here. He is a good friend. He is a community advocate. He is just a professional businessman.
Wow.
Yes. His name is Jeffrey R. Brown Sr. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here on the show. And I'm just taken to be here with you. Coach Tina, wow.
Tina.
This is what's happening right here. I have arrived right now.
You have arrived.
Yes.
No, I have arrived.
So stop.
Jeff is one of a kind. Listen, you will see Jeff everywhere in whatever city there is in New Jersey. Jeff is a person that is very amicable, approachable, professional, and a networker. But we're going to talk about that later. So I'm going to have him introduce himself to you. So Jeff, tell the audience a little bit about yourself and then give them a background of your business.
Oh,
Jeff
okay.
Brown,
All right.
Insight LLC. We'll talk about that as well.
Okay. I'm Jeff Brown, first of all. And I'd like to thank everybody for watching the show and supporting us. And I'd like to thank you and Mike for having me on your show. My name is Jeffrey R. Brown Sr. I'm the CEO of Insight LLC. And Insight, the way I came about with the thing Insight, because, all my life I was always looking for something or always searching for something. And what I found out is I was always looking for insight to a situation. Insight is, you said you was naming all the stuff, you got me thinking about every town. Me, myself, I'm just trying to give back to the community, and I like giving back to the community. So any way that I can help anybody, I try to help, like you said, either speaking up, going to PTA meetings, going to certain events to try to make a positive force be known. Because a lot of people think because there's a lot of people that don't have no one to speak up for them or to, stand in the gap for them. And I try to be that person. And insight is to give information, to a situation that you might need. A lot of people are not going to go to church. A lot of people don't go to church. So they don't know where to get direction or get information from, especially good information. You can always get bad information any place, but getting good information is, very important.
So when did you found Insight? When did it start? When did it begin?
Insight started in year 2000. So we're like 10 years. I think it started in 2000. Basically, the company had already started. And the funny thing about it was, I really didn't even want to start a company. But this is what happened. It's a funny story. I was doing some speaking, and someone said, "Do you have your own company?" I'm like, "No, I don't have my own company." Somebody asked me to speak and talk about a situation, and I'm speaking upon it. They was like, "You should get your own company." And I laughed at them, "My own company? You know how much, my own company, I can't see myself even having a company." And then somebody else came to me and said, "You don't have your own company?" I'm like, "You know what? I think it's time for me to go get my own company." So I just pursued it and I went and got the company. So that's actually, I got LLC in 2010. And 2009, I found out I had cancer.
Okay.
So by me having cancer, it made me pursue even more about, coming about getting my business started. And that's what I did in 2010. I just went on and got the business because I was speaking, and I didn't even realize at the time that I was going around speaking at events that I had prostate cancer. And once I found I had prostate cancer, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and make this a company now, because I really want to be out in the community and speak about certain things. So that's where Insight came about.
That's how it came about.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you were first diagnosed with prostate cancer, what was the steps that you began to take to just reinvent who you were? after battling and becoming a survivor?
Wow. Well, when I first found out, it was very touching when you find out that you have cancer. The doctor told me I had cancer. I had 10 biopsies, and all 10 of them came back positive for cancer. My wife was in the room with me. She was crying, and then it was to the point. At that point, I was like, "Oh my God, how am I going to explain this to my children? Where do I go now?" Okay. It's like your life flashes. You work all the time. You say, "Well, I'm gonna retire." You got this plan. I'm gonna work. My kid's gonna grow up. I'm gonna see them married, grandkids, and all this other stuff. And then when you get hit with that, it's like, oh my God, I don't have time. Am I going to live? Am I going to die? And then that's when I start putting everything in order. So by doing that, or by saying that, I went home, told my children what was necessary, what was going on, that I was going to continue to fight this, and together we're going to get through this. Okay. So pretty much after I'm cancer free now, and after that, that's when American Cancer Society came to me, and they seen the zeal that I had. And they seen about me speaking, and how that even though I was going through treatments, I kept on fighting. And they was like, "Well, we need somebody like you to speak in different areas." They said, "Do you ever speak?" I was like, "Yeah, I have my own company called Insight, and that's what I do. I speak at different events about certain things." So they was like, "Well, let's get you, to speak at some of our events." And then from that point on, it just kept going. I spoke at a relay in 2010 that had over 2,500 people in Clark. So that was like, that was the moment when I was like, wow. And then just to see so many other people that's going through cancer or, have, survived cancer, it was very touching at that moment.
I know it is. I have a few family members who have survived cancer. So I understand the process of being overcome with so much joy that you're still here and now you're a survivor, and now going back and witnessing to encourage so many other people. Yes. And for them to ask you to come and be a speaker, that's what you do already through your company, Insight. Is this the way that God has opened up another door for you to begin speaking in that area of your testimony? Yes. So that's great. Now, when we talk about, again, Insight and you being a motivational speaker, do you often encourage people to pursue their dreams and their passion like you're doing?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I do, because what I find out with a lot of people is that we dream, and because we dream, we think we can't make it happen. It's like, oh, that's only a dream. No, that's just the vision being planted in you that you must wake up and start making the dream happen. Right. And that's what, like I said, by me having cancer, it made me say, you know what, I'm stopped dreaming. I had the wrong dream. My dream was, like I was telling you, work hard, provide for my family, retire, and play with my grandkids. But that ain't how life is supposed to be. Life is every day, every moment we have to take life serious, because we don't know what the next moment or the next second holds for us. So, like I said, by me going through that and going through that testimony time, it made me be more aware that, you know what, every minute or every second, I must reach and try to help someone along the way. Because what I found out, the more that I reach and try to help someone, the more I feel blessed, or I feel more encouraged myself. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I found out. That's why I don't have a problem speaking. I don't have a problem if I get a phone call at night, somebody say, well, my son's missing, or my son got this problem, and running over and try to either with prayer or try to, hold them up and strengthen them, or let's go out and look for them, whatever the situation may be, or even go to a youth summit and talk about how I used to be out there. But I know once you get your life back on track, when you get your insight and get your vision back, you can, reach your destiny or reach your dream. And that's what I found out.
I like the way you said when you get your insight, like that basically when you get the direction, when you understand the purpose, your destination, where you want to travel, then you can begin to make the steps to move in that direction. With that being said, you have met a lot of people at different functions, at different events. So when you're there, how do you network with people so you can move in the direction that you want your business to go? And what steps can you give to someone else about networking?
Yeah, networking that's the problem that I see a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people think because they go to an event or a social event, I'm in there, that I'm going to be able to, rub elbows with the right person. But first you must know what you want in life. Right. You must know that, for example, if I want to know Tina, I know I must study and understand if I do get a chance to see Tina, what am I going to say to Tina? Right. Is the first words that I come out with Tina going to be something that's going to catch Tina's ear, to make her pay attention to me, to say, listen, come over here, I want to hear what you have to say. Or I'm going to say something that I don't even know what I want. That's like some people said, I was told one time, if you was to meet God, what would you ask God for? Some people are like, well, I never even thought about that. Well, I already know what I would ask God for. You understand?
Right.
Or some people say, if you had 3 wishes or 1 wish, what would you wish for? I would say I would wish for 3 more wishes.
Right.
You understand? And I would just keep on doing that. But if you don't understand, then you'll never be able to network like you want to. When I go to an event to network with something, I already have a plan in mind. If there's an event where I need funding, and I know that this funding that I need to talk to this person and that person. So what I need to do is get around that person. And when I do get an opportunity, say, listen, I don't have much time, and I know you don't have much time because there's a lot of people in this room that wants your time.
Yes.
But if I have a moment of your time or we can schedule something at another time, I would love to sit down with you and discuss da-da-da-da-da. And once I do that, then I'm gone. Because no matter how much I try to do a proposal out in public, nobody's listening to your proposal in a social event. And that's what I found out. Most of the time, you have to be around someone that you do your homework, understand what you're going there for, and understand exactly what you need to say. It don't take long. Don't take long to get your point across. Your presentation or anything, you just come right across with it. And I found out it works for me.
That sounds great. Like you said, it doesn't take long because you already, basically you say that you should even study the event before you even arrive.
Right. You know.
And then you already have people in mind that you may want to network with.
Correct.
Right. And it's not that you're going to walk up to them and give them a proposal. It could be an introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Always have business cards on you.
Always, yes. Always have business cards on you. Always wear your name tag on your, I guess this would be my left side.
Yes.
So this way when you shake hands, they can see it this way. Some people put their name tag on the wrong side. So when they shaking hands, somebody got to look and say, what is your name? But if you put it on this side, when you shake hands, you're pulling somebody to them. And always make eye contact. And always be confident when you're talking to someone. You know, look at the person, let them know that you understand it, and look at them. Don't look through them, but look at them. You know, and stay focused with them. And I feel that's when you can connect with a person. A lot of times, you know, I don't know for what reason, we won't look eye to eye to a person when we want something. So a person might not take you serious. A person might think, you know, somebody else pushed you up to say something to me. So most of the time when I go into the room, I'm just as important as the person that's in there.
Well, see, when you walk in the room, we know that Mr. Jeffrey Brown, when he walks in the room, he makes his presence known. And because, you know, he has also another name that we're going to talk about right now. It's called Kingdom Bound Brown. What is Kingdom Bound Brown?
Kingdom Bound Brown is really like my stage or radio name that I have on my radio show or television show. And that's where I'm headed. I'm headed for the kingdom. We all supposed to be working for the kingdom.
Yes.
And so it's just a way of saying Kingdom Bound Brown. It's a quick way of saying things. It's something that you will memorize by saying Kingdom Bound Brown. If I went around and said Jeffrey R. Brown Sr. or Minister Brown or whatever, they're like, oh, da, da, da. But when you say Kingdom Bound Brown, it's like something that just rolls off the tongue. And then I let everybody know I'm working for the kingdom. I'm on a journey, and my home is going to be in heaven. That's where I'm going.
KBB.
Yeah, KBB.
KBB.
Yeah.
You down with KBB?
Yeah,
I think I'm down.
See
I remember
there
that.
you go.
I remember that acronym.
There you go.
KBB.
See how easy that is?
Yes.
It just rolls off.
It does. So KBB, tell us about your TV radio show.
My show is called Insight. Everything is branded under Insight because I don't want a lot of different names. So people are like, well, what is this? What is that? Everything is Insight. So Insight is a radio show, a gospel radio show, where we play gospel music. We talk about issues that some people or some churches are afraid to talk about. Like, you know, sister, why you wearing your dress so short in the front pew? Because, you know, the pastor or the deacons are sitting up there. So we have like a little joke or a little
Really,
sketch
Jeff?
that we do. Yeah, really. That's what we do, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Or, brother, why you wearing your clothes like that? Why you wearing that muscle shirt like that when you're trying to... Don't tempt our sister, you know. So we have jokes like that, and we play gospel house music.
Okay.
So this way, you know, we can touch the younger generation. You know, so we do a mix. We play some traditional gospel, contemporary, and hip hop.
Wow. So you're diverse.
Yes,
Because
very
you're trying to
diverse.
reach everyone.
We have to reach everyone.
Everyone. By having an audience that everyone can relate to and talking about those topics such as the lady, why you wearing your dress this way, on the man. Some of those issues that some people won't talk about in the church or, you know, other social atmospheres. So that's good. That's great that you're talking about that on your show. Do you invite a lot of guests in to come in and speak on certain issues?
Oh, yes. I love to have guests. I tell people all the time, inbox me, call me up, come to my show. I love to have guests. You know why? Because all I have to do is just sit there and let them talk. Almost like what you're doing to me right now. Just let me talk right now.
Well,
but no,
listen,
I'm just having fun.
Listen.
You know.
But because you're a radio show host, I'm just giving you the floor. I'm like, go.
Okay,
Just keep talking.
okay.
But so I want to just go back to what I first started off talking about, which
Okay.
was living your dream, going for your following your purpose and your
Mm-hmm.
passion. And because Insight, you focus on that, talking to people about that. How important is it to write that vision and making it plain, and then waiting for the provision? Because I think sometimes people think, if I don't have the provision, I don't have the money, I don't have the building, I don't have all the resources, I'm not going to pursue my vision.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe it's the opposite. So what do you think?
I agree with you because there's a lot of things I did. I didn't even have the money, but I walked in my authority and believed in God that it provided. It was already there for me. It was like I took the one step and he already put the other two there.
Okay.
So when I walked, say for example, when I needed money to have a radio show or television show, I didn't know where the money was coming from, but I knew I wanted to do it because I wanted to have an avenue for people to come to help promote them. It's not about me, it's about helping someone else. And when I did that, the funds came in. I was like, wow, if I would have known that, I would have had a radio show a long time ago.
Right.
So like you said, you have to write down what you want to do. I'm having a book that's coming out soon. I found out just last week, through the help of you, networking with you, that now is no problem getting the book done. Now, I had the book. It was already written. I just didn't pull it out to say, okay, all right, let's make it work. I'm like, okay, I get to that. But it was just networking and being around right people. Somebody said, okay, that you introduced me to, say, listen, let me see your book. Let's see what we can do, and let's get it to be a #1 seller. I'm like, wow. I didn't offer that person. I didn't ask for money. I didn't even go searching in the yellow pages or on the internet to try to find this person. But God placed that person in my life to say, listen, you're kingdom bound Brown, you're kingdom going. It's a kingdom book. It's about helping someone. Let me help you. And that's what I'm saying. When we come together as a unit,
Right.
as a people,
Yes.
no matter what color you are,
That is
there's
true.
strength in numbers.
Right.
And that's what we need to be. And that's what I feel is an important insight or important part of life. But for some reason, a lot of us have that crab mentality. Now, I heard a story about the crab mentality because...
Crab in the barrel.
Right. Now, I heard different stories about the crab, So now I'm going to say this to the listeners or to who's watching, that you have to try to figure out which way you want the crab mentality to work in your life. Now, some people say that the crab is pulling the other crab back down because he knows the crab's going out to get in a pot of hot water to be eaten. Some people say that they don't want the crab to get out from the rest of the crabs to make it to the top. So in my life and where I'm looking at it, that I don't need nobody to pull me down because the hot water that I'm going to go into is going to make me better than what I was where I was at. Because if you realize when you're in the barrel of bushel of crab, you're blue. But once you get in the hot waters, you're transformed to a different color. So when I look at it that way, I'm saying, no, you don't have to pull me back in here because I don't want to stay here. I want to be different. So once you get to your season or you get to your dream, or whenever you get to a certain point in your life, your whole life changed completely. The things you used to do, you don't do no more. The people that you want to be around, you don't be around them no more because God has elevated you not to be better than them, but to be an example so someone else can have a leader to follow. Like I watch you and I follow you.
Yeah.
Before I came to your show, I already did all my homework to understand who Tina was because I wouldn't be able to sit here and be comfortable talking to you if I didn't understand who you was.
Right. So, and I understand that. And I was just listening to you talk about the crab in the barrel, and it's that scenario, like when you were breaking it down, how you go in. You said you go in blue, and you come out.
You come out orange once you hit the water. Right.
That's deep.
Right.
That's deep.
But you understand? But
Yes.
some of us just want to continue to hang in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Some of us just want to continue to be in that bushel. I don't want to be in the number like that. If I want to be out. I want to be different. And when I say, because anybody that I know in history that was ever different made a difference.
That's right.
So I want to be different. I want to be a Martin Luther King. I want to be a Malcolm X. I want to be a Rosa Parks. I want to be Jeff Brown. I want to leave a legacy that, he just wasn't somebody said, yeah, we need to change. We need to do this. But I want somebody to say he did make a change. Even if it was just to save one person's life, I want to be known that
that you did make a difference.
made a difference.
Wow, and you compared yourself to some mighty men. That's great. So when you said you want people to know that you will make a change, if someone wants to contact you and say, I want Jeff Brown for Insight to come to my company and speak, how will you make a change for their company?
Oh, they can hit me up on social media. I can speak to them, come out, talk to them, give them some of my workshop programs, CDs. I mean, whatever they need me to do, I'm willing to help them do.
What are some of your workshop programs? What do you teach on?
My main workshop program is Networking 101, I call it.
Okay.
How to network to get where God wants you to be. You know, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like when you buy an airplane ticket. You bought the airplane ticket online. Right. You know where you want to go. You know your destiny. But when you get to the airport, if you don't know what gate to go to, right, you might miss your flight. You follow what I'm saying? So what I want to do, I want to help people. All right, you got the knowledge. You bought your ticket, but let me help you find out what gate you got to go.
Wow. That
you don't miss your flight. And that's what I try to do to people, because we all have a lot of knowledge. We have a lot of understanding, but sometimes we don't have the right person to direct us where we need to go. I've seen people miss a lot of planes, a lot of trips because they didn't know or understand. Or some people, they don't have great time management either.
Wow.
So even to network, you got to have great time management. You have to have a great appearance. You got to know who you are. You got to be confident in who you are. That when you meet the right person that you need, that they can say, wow, because you ever met somebody say, I know you from someplace.
Right.
Now, they really don't know you, but you remind them of someone that was close to them or they on broke bread with. And they'll say, come here for a minute, because I want to talk to you, because I think I know you. I think we met already. Once that happens, boom, that's one-on-one network.
That's one-on-one network. After you meet a person at an event, introduce yourself, how soon should you respond to them, like via email, phone call, if they said to follow up with them?
Soon, the next day, first thing in the morning. I'm right there in the morning. If I don't do it as I'm sitting in the event, already hitting them up to let them know I'm sending you this email because I know we's at this event and I don't want to forget you and I don't want you to forget who I am. So we just met. I was the guy that you talked to about da 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 da. Boom, hit me up in the morning, or I hit you in the morning. Hope to talk to you soon. That's what I do, because usually what happens is if you wait a couple of days, usually you forget, because we're human.
Yes.
Or you might meet somebody else at that night or that point, and you forget that the first person I really met, I should have been talking to this person, but I went to this person. And something else about networking, when you network, always go to the source of what the information or who you need to see. A lot of times we start at the wrong person. We start at the bottom trying to talk to this person, telling this person about an idea or dream or what we want. This person don't have the faith or believe in us, or don't even have the power to connect us to the person we need.
So give us an example of that. How does it look like for our our viewers?
Viewers? Okay. All right. Say, for example, like you ever went to, let's say, a bill collector.
Yes.
You went to a bill collector and you went to go pay the bill. Now, the person that's at the front desk, you're telling them why you late or paying the bill or what your scenario is. Right. They really don't want to hear it. All they're going to say is, just pay the bill or we're going to turn it off. So right then I would say, excuse me, can I speak to your manager or your supervisor? Because apparently you're not a people person and you don't care about who I am.
Wow, okay.
So I don't waste my time, get aggravated, trying to tell this person off, be escorted out by the police, or blow my testimony. I'm like, okay, I know what, maybe you're not the one to help me anyway. So let me just talk to your manager. When the manager come out, first thing they got to do is be public friendly. Mm-hmm. Hi, can I help you? What's going on here? Well, this person didn't give me the service I want. So now I'm here to get the service I need. And that's how you have to do in business, the same way.
Wow, and I understand that, because I understand that whole concept, because sometime in business, what we're going to do is we will meet the secretary, the administrative assistant of a business, or just another person who just may be a friend of the owner, and we begin to give our proposals, everything about what we want to do, and we give that person all the information, thinking they're going to go back to that other individual when the owner's right there. So you need to be walking over and introducing yourself at time to the owner, and not expecting that other people is going to do the introduction for you. The key
not to cut you off. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But I just want to get this point out. What I found out, there was a campaign that a mayor was running, and he said when he become mayor, everybody becomes mayor.
Right.
So with that mindset right there, that even gave me more fuel to my fire to say I'm going to even work harder in this city, because now I am the mayor. And that's the mindset you have to be. If you're going to someone a proposal, you're going there with the faith to believe this person going to get it done. And if this person can't help me, then that's okay, because that's not going to stop my dream or get me to my destiny, because I'm going to find the right person that's going to get me where I need to go.
So don't get disappointed by a no.
You never get disappointed. No. A no, if that's the case, then we wouldn't have lights in the studio, because Thomas Edison, how many times did he do it?
Yes.
Over 1,000 times. And 1,001 time he discovered light. So that's what I'm saying. So, that's the mindset we have to be, because sometimes, and we have to remember, some people are only going to be around us for a certain point. It's like a rocket ship. They're going to drop off, but we still going to go to our orbit.
I like that, Jeff. They're going to drop off, but we still going to go to our orbit.
Right. We're going to go to our destiny.
Listen, that was deep. That's why you're a life empowerment coach. That was a little deep. I'm joking around, but I'm so serious.
Right,
That was a little deep. That's a little deep for me. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, write that one down. Yeah, write that one down.
I can use that
Yeah,
one.
you can use that
because I
one.
am
I'll let
Coach
you
Tina Lane, and
right.
sometimes I can put CC Jeffrey Brown.
No,
next
that's
to
okay.
it.
I'll give you that one.
You'll give me this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's what people have to realize that when you think about it, when you see the rocket just takes off,
right.
he takes off. They got 3 or 4 rockets on him, but they fall off. And when it comes back to Earth, there's only a little capsule that comes back. But it went and did what it had to do, and then it came back, whatever it discovered, to share with the world.
But the key is it went. That's
Right.
why
It went, right.
It went.
Right.
I'm like,
Even
wow.
though when everything else fell off,
right.
it still made it.
That's
So if you don't have no friends no more, that means God is pushing you where you need to go.
right. That's you see, I was catching that.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And it's like you have a dream, you have a passion, and you may not have others that are believing in you, and they may think that what your dream, your passion, your vision is, it's ridiculous, but you still go.
Right.
And others, no matter, things may fall off, but you still gonna go pursue that because God gave you that vision, He gave you that purpose, He gave you that plan, and you're gonna pursue it. Wow. So we're coming to the end of our show, and I want you just to give them like a few words to motivate our audience, our listeners, basically how to pursue their dreams and their vision. I know we just did this scenario with the rocket, but just any words of wisdom that you would give to someone that's listening right now that's saying, listen, I have a vision, I have a dream that I want to go after. I've been networking, I've been trying, and I haven't fulfilled everything, and I might be at the point where I want to give up. How will you empower them as a coach?
Okay, as a coach, first thing I always say, and I always ask people, first of all, do you go to a church and do you believe in God? If you go to a church, and make sure the church is teaching you the fundamentals, because you got to have those fundamentals, and the fundamentals of life is the key to everything. You have to have a solid rock to put your foot on, and you have to have a strong belief in what you believe in. So if you believe in God and you know God is able to do all things but fail, you take that right there. That should motivate you alone. You take that and then you say, okay, all right, if I got this behind me and I got God behind me and I know I can do all things through Him, then you know what? I'm not going to let family, I'm not going to let friends, I'm not going to let finances, I'm not going to let nothing stop me, because I'm going to write Him the check, because I'm out here on His strength. I'm an ambassador for Christ. So if I'm out here on Christ's strength, I know I can do all things but fail. And that's the key to it.
That's the key. Wow, thank you for sharing that. That's how I can do all things but fail.
But fail.
But fail.
But fail.
Because I have a belief. Listen, you're listening to Mr. Jeffrey R. Brown Sr. He is the CEO of Insight. He is a life coach, motivational speaker. You can check him out, his website, www.insightfulmission.com. He is one of a kind, and it was an honor to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
You empower me, and I know you empower others.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.